Hello there, everyone. Xantok here with Nonary Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Virtue's Last Reward, the second game in the Zero Escape series. Now, of course, as you know, this game's already been played on Twitch, and this is all just archive footage, so if you'll just give me a moment here, I'm going to jump back to a previous point in my timeline, and we'll continue with the game. Alright, so, where do we leave off last time around? Alright, so we got Clover's ending. And I think we probably did this afterwards. Yeah, because that's the Clover game over. And then we probably came over here to do... Oh. Cool. And then I'm guessing we came over here to do this. So we got the Alice game over at that point. Which... No, I'm trying to think of like which ending would that... I was thinking that was the one where everybody fucking died. I was like, nope, that was this one. That was... That's the thing. There's a lot of... I was joking about, oh, I'm probably going to turn the corner. It's going to be like a pile of dead bodies. What happened? I turned the corner. There were a pile of dead bodies. Shit was wild. I honestly don't remember what the Alice game over one was. I don't remember. I know we had a game over where they all left, which was this one. Maybe this was the game where like we got the points and then Clover left, or this one was. I'm not sure. One of those was this, but either way, those were both bad ends. We did not succeed in anything. Where we want to continue from here, we're going to go to this story point, and I believe that means we need to do a betray of whoever our person is. So that's going to lead us down a long track. Let's see, what other locks we still need to get? Here we need to have 5 minutes of life, how to make it start so we're alive, which I thought we had, because we found the thing. It's like, hey, take a shot of this, and it can counteract the muscle relaxant. It's like, oh, well, that must be how we live. Well, maybe not. I don't know. And then these sorts of figuring out who is Zero, who planted the bomb. I mean, I don't think it's who is Zero anymore. I think it's just strictly it's who planted the bomb, which means one of us did, I guess. And I don't know who it would be. Dio seems to rush back to the doors every time, so I don't really think it'd be Dio. That seems kind of odd. And then it's not going to be Clover, it's not going to be Alice, it's not going to be Tin Meal, it's not going to be Quark. And that just leaves Luna and Kay. Luna would be the classic, oh, you never would have suspected the nice person of being the traitor. And then Kay is the most mysterious. Who's like, oh, well, you know. Well, let's go ahead and jump back up to here. Wait. What? Oh, wow. So this one really went from one lock to another. Gosh, okay. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and jump in here then. We're going to get to this point. We're going to betray whoever we had previously allied with. And we'll see where we go from there. Should be a good time. Start! I think it's probably Alice that we're betraying, I'm guessing. I don't remember. But that feels right. I don't even remember who we're paired with here. Are we paired with Fi at this point? No, we're paired with Luna right now. Okay. Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. What? I was trying to... Yeah, I want to look back and see, like, who we were doing up against. Oh, we betrayed somebody that wasn't even here. Ah, Alice. Yep. Yep. Okay.
Why?
We are not gonna... Yep.
What happened to... It's not fair to betray someone who isn't voting.
I mean, it's not, but the timeline demanded it.
I thought...
There was nothing I could think of to say. Even I didn't really understand why I'd picked betray instead. It almost felt unconscious, like some other part of my mind was making the decision for me. Oh, I wonder. Perhaps I've been possessed by some sort of evil spirit that had moved my finger to the betray button against my will. Right. Well, we should go see the results.
Really? We already know what they are.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
It's simple math.
Okay. But wait! No, you say it's simple math, but I just remembered what happened in a fucking previous timeline. Because I had forgotten, but now I fucking remember. We fucking went to Ally here, and then somehow, despite Al's supposed to be in the fucking goddamn infirmary, she votes betray? What the fuck? And we died! So what the hell happened then? I want fucking answers, game, because that was some... If you don't give me answers in this fucking segment right here, then I come massive bullshit on that. Let's go find out. I had completely forgotten. I was like, oh, I was so angry at that. Look in her eyes was more painful than any punch I'd ever taken. I turned away and almost ran toward the projector. Anything to get away from those eyes.
Results from round 2 of the Nonary Game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Everybody betrayed there. They all betrayed there. Where the fuck are you? Where is she?
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Also, this is the first time we've seen everybody betray. What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No. How can Alice's vote be betray? That's not possible. Wow, she looked weird. Alice? She was standing inside the second room from the left. The room that should have been empty. Oh, that's right. We saw this, like, we thought we saw, like, a ghostly version of her, I think, too. Why? My mind was still reeling. Where had she come from? As I was trying to form a sentence, she began to move toward us. From around me, I heard a chorus of muted gasps. It seemed we were united in our surprise and confusion. Alice drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display.
Thought you'd get an easy couple points, huh? Not so easy when you have to look your victim in the eye, is it?
Yeah, thought you could kill me, huh?
Coward.
Me, a coward? You've got some fucking balls saying that to me after you picked betray. Why are you even here?
You gave me the antivirus, didn't you? Tenmyoji told me. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
But you should still be under the effects of the anesthetic.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I still am. A bit.
What?
I have a throbbing headache, and I can barely stand.
And you fucking ran all the way here?
I'm more resistant to anesthetics than most people. A result of my training. I have a feeling Zero Senior knew that.
That is some
They
bullshit.
gave me way more than the standard dose of that gas when they kidnapped me. In any event, a few minutes ago I woke up in the infirmary. Tenmyoji explained what was going on, and I got here as fast as I could.
So yeah, showed up right after we'd gotten into the AV room when we had like 15 seconds.
Yes. Right in the nick of time, too. About 10 seconds before the deadline, as I recall.
Oh, that's some horse shit.
You did that just so you could betray us?
Right. What? Don't I get to do that? I mean, it turned out to be the right thing to do, didn't it?
You would have killed
You
us!
two chose
Me, rather.
betray. If I'd stayed back there, I'd have lost 2 points.
So you're saying it was self-defense?
Yes.
You're full of shit. Self-defense my ass! You chose betray because you wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I picked ally, you would have had 9. That's what you were trying to do, right?
So what if I was?
Oh, fuck this bitch. Are you serious? You would have killed me. Look, I only have 1 BP. You are this close to murdering me. Wow, Alice really does not care. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape.
Don't be stupid.
Oh, nah.
I knew you'd choose betray.
Oh, bullshit. I picked Ally in the previous
There
timeline.
was...
Tell the truth, Alice.
That is the truth.
Bullshit.
Why am I the only one getting the 3rd degree here?
Because I wouldn't have killed you.
Look at those results. 2 other people just tried to kill someone.
Yeah, but they aren't me. Theo? Phi and Dio. Whoops.
Yes. If Dio had chosen ally, Phi would have killed Tenmyoji. And if she'd chosen ally, Dio would have killed her.
Yeah. But that's because she knew Dio is a fucking asshole, so of course he was always going to go betray. So Phi was literally saving her own life. You, however, were just saving your ass.
It looks like Clover and Kay tried to trick one another. Not that it seems to have worked. If either one had chosen ally, the other one would have 9 BP right now.
Fuck Alice. Officially hate her. Took this long. I turned to look at the results again. Before, I'd only been looking at my own. I hadn't realized that there was only one word all across the roster. Betray. Whatever trust we'd managed to build had fallen apart. Everyone was suspicious of everyone else. Had it been the bombs? Or had it been something else? Whatever the reason, if it kept up, we'd never manage to escape. We'd be trapped in a cycle of 0-point rounds for the rest of our lives. Something had to be done. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Alright guys, pay attention. You've probably already all figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we are never gonna get out of here. We need to work together. I might as well have been talking to a wall. Are we squall now?
Sigma, but I need to think on something for a bit. I would appreciate being left alone.
Okay.
I'll be leaving too. Things are getting a little too intense here for my delicate constitution.
Yeah, fuck you.
Sorry.
Dio.
Well, in that case...
At 2, Phi?
Yeah, sorry.
Wow. Rude. Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. Dio and Kay quickly followed suit.
See? There's your answer. In the end, everyone's just thinking about themselves. So I would appreciate it if you could not treat me like I'm the only villain here.
Oh, you're not. But you're the only one that tried to kill me in this particular instance. Therefore,
Come on, Clover.
fuck you.
Hold on! I'm coming! Are you feeling okay?
No!
I was really worried, you know?
Why are you worried about me? In this timeline, you have no reason to be worried about me. I watched them walk away, Clover practically jumping with delight to have Alice back. Before long, they reached the yellow door and disappeared beyond it. He was probably talking to Alice now that I think about it, not us. Man, fuck them.
Everyone's gone.
This is not a nice timeline. Most of them aren't, but... So, you aren't going to leave too?
No.
Oh, okay. Are you sure? I mean, I chose Betray.
I know. But I still believe in you, Sigma.
That's nice.
I think your hand must have just slipped or something.
It didn't.
Right?
No. My chest hurt, and when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Luna, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed through the warehouse.
The Ambidex gates have closed.
Now here's the question. Are we going to get another lock, or are we going to get to play round 3?
Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round.
Yeah. We already know about that. Oh,
Are
can't skip
required
it. Okay.
to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the Star Keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh?
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over, too.
And everybody gets 9 points. Yes.
Sigma? Could you show me your bracelet?
Yeah, sure.
Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
When?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. There, Solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see here. I'm a cyan payer. What about you? Weren't we a solo before?
I'm a magenta pair.
I thought we were solo previously in round 3.
They could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
We've got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So, what should we do now?
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Yeah. Physically and emotionally. I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AB game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of
Maybe
here.
it would help if we all had a common goal.
Escape?
Something to unite our hearts and minds.
Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get the fuck out of here. That seems like a pretty clear goal to me, but everybody chose betray. Including me.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes. A common foe. Like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
So maybe this time we're going to figure out who did the bombs. After coming back from the lab, I told her about the bomb while she gave Alice and Quark the Accelavir. Huh. Yeah, that might work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, then everyone else would work together against them. But how do we figure out who it is?
Do you have any clues?
Clues, huh? No? Wait. We have this purple memory card. I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out toward her.
What's this?
It's a purple memory card. I told you, a memory card. It contains Pokemon Violet. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. I think whoever set the bomb dropped it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card reader.
Oh, I guess we can't really use it then.
Yes, we can! It's in the fucking infirmary! Ah!
Oh, wait a second. You know what? I think I might have seen something.
Huh?
Yes, I remember. The infirmary.
Yes!
I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Theo and Quark. There was a memory card just like that one.
Then...
I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
Alright, well let's fucking go! Luna and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover, and Tin Miyoji. Quark was there as well, of course, but he was just as we'd left him, asleep on the bed.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, shut up, I don't want to talk to you. I opened my mouth to retort, then thought better of it. If I really wanted people to start trusting each other, well, real change starts at home. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb and the memory card, and how we'd come to the... shit. And how we'd come to the infirmary in hopes that we could discover the contents of the latter.
Okay.
Then stick it in already.
Go ahead.
God damn it. Right. Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen, exactly the right size to fit a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters. Is it okay. And they repeat. What is this?
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks like the odd rows use one set of letters, and the even rows use another set.
They do.
In other words, the first 2 rows just repeat. Yeah.
Is this some kind of code or something?
It doesn't look random to me. I think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Well, yeah.
Was there anything else on there? No, it doesn't look like it.
So what we get is this gibberish. Great. Hey, Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training?
This is...
So you do recognize it.
What?
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
The
What are the
Myrmidons?
Myrmidons?
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
So this thing we're looking at, you think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb? It was set by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
I want to check... Oh, we can't access their fucking notes here, can we? Oh, no, here we go. Yeah, it's the memo. Okay, so BQZ. So I want to keep an eye out for those letters in particular. Well, no, it doesn't look like they're anywhere close to each other. Where the fuck is even the B? It's got to be hidden behind one of the portraits.
Yes. Well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
Damn. I have got a ton of questions for you. But let me start with this one. What the heck does this thing say? So Z's are only in this column. B's are only here. But Q's are both here and here. I don't know what you could really do with that. I was thinking maybe you could spell like another disarm code for the bombs, but...
I don't know.
What?
How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
What about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See.
Well, not much we can do then. This is gonna be another fucking lock, isn't it? We can come back to that code stuff later. I've got another question. Alice, Clover, who the hell are you? What do you know about this code? Oh, don't feed me classified. You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state? Or something like that? So just what the hell kind of a job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry, but I can't.
Oh, fuck you. Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
Didn't. That's idiotic. Of course I'm not.
And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
Then tell Tin Miyoji. You can trust him. I'm not your enemy, for fuck's sake. I'm your fucking ally. I'm your friend. Ooh, I don't think I'd go that far. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just please tell us. Please. Also, I think at this point, like, if we were one of these terrorists, one of these Myrmidons, it'd be kind of too late to tell us about the whole, what she does, because we kind of can already tell what she does. So it'd be like, what's the point in keeping the whole thing a secret at this point? But we need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. You know what? Fine. If you won't tell us about yourself, then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
I'm sorry.
Oh, fucking Christ. You suck so much. Before I could blink, she leapt up and run out of the room. Hey! Get the fuck back here. I took off after her.
How long are you going to keep following me?
Until you fucking tell me things. Until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover?
Clover?
You already know she works with me.
Yeah, but she won't do anything without your say-so.
Then why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
It's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. That means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
That's a new pose for her. She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. Oh, good lord. We walked down the path to where it ended, next to the pond. I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several long minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
Well, yeah. Why would I do that?
I tried to kill you.
See? You admit it now. So, you mean in the AB game? Yeah, we know.
I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you mean?
I remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the Radical Six.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that. But when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So all I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could.
God, the 3D models look so weird.
It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you.
It takes me out of the whole moment when you see shit like this.
God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See?
Also, I've not heard this track yet in this game.
I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it.
Do what?
Kill me!
What?
Get it over with!
What the hell, Alice? I'm not gonna kill you. I don't even hate you.
You're
Yeah, a
lying.
little bit.
I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
Calm the fuck down. No one's killing anyone. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek. I'm not buying into this scene at all. Then another and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it.
Why are you doing this?
I honestly don't know.
You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
That's weird. That's who you were after, right? The people who killed your dad? Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
You know what? Sure, whatever. Why not? Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know about myself and about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
I won't let the stream know either. What? Crying? I don't remember any crying. Who cried?
Alright then.
Alice took a deep breath and began. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which is why we moved. I'm starting to think we might just be getting the Alice good ending here. Because every time it's always been like an info dump on a particular character, and, well, both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the United States. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. I'm guessing this is young Alice here. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. That or it's her mom, I can't really tell. Maybe that's her mom. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It wasn't until several years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her, as a single mother, alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often, when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and in every line of her face, I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student, and did especially well in math. I earned a full-ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job at the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time, that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. Huh. Okay. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now, at last, I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. Weird name. We know his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. The Myrmidons are closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. Quark mentioned that he had to free the soul when he was going crazy before. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding. But trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult's leader, a man named Brother, is like trying to nail Jello to a wall. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumors say he's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. Starting to think it's K. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. K could also be Alice's dad, just cloned into a different body and locked in a robot suit. Then one day, I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine trouble and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside of the very building I'd been on my way to investigate, that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My only hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. I don't think they were. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. They disappeared into the time stream. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. Aha! There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it, per se. A middle-aged man, who we'll just call H for now, had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player on the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. More specifically, I suppose, H was a member of Free the Soul and very committed to their cause. You son of a bitch! Fuck you, Ace. You continue to be an asshole. So why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently, it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenetic field. I don't imagine you've ever heard of it before, so I'll try and give you a quick rundown. We know it. Simply put, these people can access a sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousnesses of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler to just call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before, and had actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that another tip about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time, it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with a threat of that magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she had been a test subject in H's experiment, we knew she had the ability to access the morphogenetic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hoped that investigation might also give me a lead on my fellow's whereabouts. Well, now I'm wondering if this is the real Clover or this is a clone of Clover. At last, I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake, and Clover was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched frantically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found her. Yeah, I don't know, this is starting to sound like Clone Clover. Considering it's like, why would they leave but leave her behind unless it was a second trap? Like, that seems weird. She had been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he'd just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. He was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later that I learned that he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They had beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He had said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, she would leave them alone and tell her masters at the SOIS to do a likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they'd killed him. Perhaps they thought they were sending a message to me, or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very, very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had at least been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on a steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers comprised of 8s and 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message, but they were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. I broke down crying, right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who'd put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night, I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the mother lode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with a recklessness. This time, our operation would succeed. This time, I wouldn't let my excitement put Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time. We gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold. But then, on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared. So, you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room.
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me. I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up. This whole image with the lighting of something, that's going to be important. It's gotta be.
We should go back.
It's fucking everywhere. Your story explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon, right?
Yes.
And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Could be Phi, actually. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any clues?
Clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
And what's a key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait. A long string of numbers? Could that be... What long string of numbers do we know? figured we were going to lead to another lock. God damn it. I'm so upset. What is the long string of numbers? Look at all these locks over here. Alright, well, at this point there's only one place we can go. It's back to the beginning where we gotta go through the last door up here. Okay. Well, I was wondering if we would better to go, you know, a little bit further down the line before we did that. But okay. Alright. That's fine. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and end this episode of Virtue's Last Reward here. I'm sure some things happened. People probably talked. Maybe we saw the puzzle or learned an exciting revelation or so. I'm not sure. This all happened for me months ago. But hopefully, you know, it was a good episode. At least I had a lot of fun, you know, playing through it. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.